Welcome back to Chris versus everybody, where I take on the world one debate at a time. Today, we're tackling the topic that's got the internet divided. Should students really learn Algebra 2? Is it a necessary evil or just an outdated requirement that is more about proving you can survive high school than actually preparing you for the real world? Let's dive in. People want to take Algebra 2 out of schools, particularly my state of Michigan. Now, there's two arguments. There's an argument for keeping Algebra 2, and there's an argument for removing Algebra 2. And then I'm going to talk about what I feel. Taking algebra out of schools. This is the argument for taking it out. For taking it out, it's people say it's rarely used in real life. Um, they say, let's be real. When was the last time you used the quadratic formula at your job? Not everybody's going to be an engineer. Some students would benefit more from financial literacy, statistics, or vocational math than Algebra 2. Interesting. Some say it kills interest in math. For some, Algebra 2 is the point where math goes from challenging to demoralizing, and that can lead to disengagement and dropout. Some people call for better alternatives, like I said earlier, calling for data science, applied math, and all those can still build analytical skills in more practical ways than algebra 2. That's what they say. That's what they're arguing. Now there's an argument to keep it. Algebra 2 teaches critical thinking and problem solving. Algebra 2 sharpens logic and abstract thinking. Even if you never factor a trinomial ever again, you're still training your brain to approach complex problems strategically. Some people say it is a STEM gateway. STEM is an acronym for science, tech, engineering, and math. It is a gateway into tech, STEM. It is essential for students going into science, technology, engineering, or math fields. It is the foundation for calculus, physics, and more. And people are saying, let's keep it because removing Algebra 2 might be a problem in the long run when we're talking about an equitable country. Okay? Why are we taking Algebra 2 out of schools? Why? Now, this is what I think. What we should be teaching are real world skills in high school, middle school, and high school, like financial literacy or statistics that students can actually apply in their everyday lives. However, eliminating a subject that encourages critical thinking, no, oh no, oh no. Life ain't that easy. Life isn't easy. So why should school be easy? Because if you know everything, why are you at school? Eventually, you'll have to learn something at school. Yes, the basics will be there, but you have to use those basics to use it for more complex problems, i.e., Algebra 2. Careers that use Algebra 2 are the high paying jobs that many underprivileged communities desire. If you take Algebra 2, which is mostly from the conservative part of, you know, conservative part of Congress, because you know what they're trying to do. They're trying to take critical thinking out of schools so they can control you. Careers that use Algebra 2 are the careers that black and brown people desire. It sends a quiet message. You're not expected to do hard math, so why should we teach it to you? And if you don't know it, you're not going to be in any of these careers that involve Algebra 2 or calculus or critical thinking. Black and brown professionals are already underrepresented anyway in STEM careers. So cutting off Algebra 2 chops the pipeline even further. STEM careers are some of the highest paying, fastest growing fields. Not preparing students, black, white, brown, red, yellow, not preparing them means locking them out of communities from generational wealth. We're keeping our kids dumb. We want to be the best in the world. We want to make America great again, right? Why can't we teach our kids? We can't teach our kids because people in the legislature are trying to take away power. They're trying to take away power from our kids by helping them learn. If you take away their ability to learn and think critically, they're not going to succeed in the global competition. If we want more black data scientists, we want more black engineers, more black coders, more black doctors, it starts with access to higher level math, higher level subjects, period. Stop trying to take stuff away. And if you think I'm lying, STEM careers, science, technology, engineering, and math, okay? STEM careers that basically live with Algebra 2 in their DNA, no pun intended, are engineers, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, biomedical engineers, electrical engineers, etc. Data analysts, data scientists, they get six figures out the gate. Software developers, computer programmers, statisticians, architects, physicists, chemists, financial analysts, accountants, economists. I can't speak, guys. Investment bankers, market research analysts, aviation technicians, electricians, carpenters, plumbers. Yes, they use Algebra 2. Computer network technicians, and of course, logistics managers all use Algebra 2. So whoever brought this up in the Michigan House of Representatives, you need to find out who that was, and we need to vote him out. We need to vote him out. And speaking of voting out, the Memphis Grizzlies, we're going to talk about the NBA playoff series, the first round of the playoffs. Right now, we're going through the first round. As we speak, I'm watching it on my TV right now in the living room. Um, let's start with in the West. OKC is just demoralizing, like Memphis. Memphis, that series is going to go to 4 games. It's going to be a sweep because Memphis doesn't not know what to do with OKC. Denver versus the Clippers, the Denver Nuggets versus the Los Angeles Clippers. That's going to go to a 7-game series. That's probably the closest game, the closest series in this entire first round, West or East. That is actually the most captivating. Well, yeah, it is the most captivating series in the first round. And we'll get to the second one later in a second. We're going to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, that's the second most captivating series in the first round. First game, Minnesota whooped LA's ass. The second game, LA whooped Minnesota's ass. I think that's going to go to a 7-game series as well. Then we have the Golden State Warriors versus the Houston Rockets. This could go either 6 or 7 games. But I do know that Houston has young guns who are inexperienced in the playoffs. And you have Golden State who has the players who are used to being in the finals. So they know how to get there. But I do want to see Houston fight. So I do think it's going to go to 6 games. Golden State's going to win. But it'll be surprising if it does go to 7 games. Now let's go to the East. Right now I'm watching Cleveland versus the Miami Heat. I think that's going to go to 5 games. Because I just don't think Miami has it in them. They traded Jimmy Butler to Golden State. And without Jimmy Butler, Golden State would be out against Houston, to be honest. But now they have 2 shooters again. Miami does not have any. Miami has shooters, but they don't have that one guy. So Cleveland's going to win that game, that series in 5 or 6 maybe. You have the Indianapolis Pacers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. That's going to go to 6 games because I do think that Dame is going to, get in his rhythm. He did come back early from injury, so they are down 2-0. So let's just see if Milwaukee can do something. I do think that Indiana is going to win the series, but without Dame at 100%, I don't think they're going to win. You have the Boston Celtics versus Orlando Magic. Boston in 4. No need to talk about that. Then we have my Pistons. First game, 21-0 run against them. Like, how do you let Karl Anthony Towns go down the lane like that? Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, this is crazy. But the Pistons came back and won game 2. So the series is tied 1-1. I do think this is going to be a 7-game series. So you have the Denver Nuggets versus LA Clippers. That's number 1. Then you have Minnesota versus Los Angeles Lakers. That's number 2. Then you have the Knicks and Pistons at number 3. That's my era. That's my hierarchy in this entire thing. So that's how it's going to go. And I do believe that I know they're going to try to do this. I know the NBA is going to try to get LA versus Boston. I just know it. So expect to see a lot of shenanigans in the next round, okay? A lot of shenanigans. And speaking of shenanigans, I got to get out of here. I got stuff to do tonight. I didn't talk about what's-his-face today, which is a really good thing, okay? I want to get away from talking about him because every time I talk about him, I get angry. And I'm not trying to get angry on my show. I just want to talk facts. I just want to talk facts. It's hard to talk about facts while talking about him. But we're going to stop the show right now. See you guys next week. Peace.